I'm going to come to the actual legacy integration piece at BT. As I've said, we have a large MVS presence in all our back-end systems. Is purely 30 to 35 terabyte of data. Our integration mechanisms to get to those systems is traditionally DCE, which sometimes can be confused for distributed something environment, but it does stand for distributed computing environment, and MQ, which is IBM's asynchronous messaging mechanism. What we've been able to do was, with the Service Object Factory, which isn't really a factory of robots, but is a factory of people who actually can churn out box standard a service object framework. And we actually can integrate to these different back-end systems quite quickly. An example is we've been able to write a Genesis service object within 8 hours and actually be able to deliver the same soul phone capability that comes out of the box on Genesis. But integration into BT has to be according to strict guidelines. You know, you're not able to go in there and just decide a new IT voice infrastructure, like let's take Corb and dump it in, let's take in enterprise Java Beans. There's well-defined integration mechanisms with BT. And GT has allowed us to be able to integrate to these systems quite easily through the Service Object API. We have a lot of legacy robotic interactions. If you can imagine, there is a lot of robots within BT which are built in VB or whatever mechanism that does 3270 screen scraping, because that was the only thing at the time. Some projects designed around fat client desktop integration. I know Ian sort of made a comment this morning about VB. I have not my own project, I didn't design, but I think of 100,000 lines of VB code within a client and a server combined on a desktop. Fat is not the word. It's voluminous is probably the best term for it. Now, what we are trying to do, and this is one of the next slide we'll try and show, people come along with their own front ends. It could be enterprise middleware piece, it could be an Oracle type of front end, not necessarily a GT front end. And working with some of the people here over the last year, what I tried to prove was we could actually take the front end GUI that's been developed in VB or Power Builder and actually be able to integrate that into the business process in the mid-tier that we have already existing. And that was running something in the region of 12 to 14 complicated transactions in the mid-tier. That obviously gave us a huge benefit. It reduced 14 DLLs off our desktop, which obviously comes maintenance, cost, IVV&T testing, integration, deployment. That is where I think there's going to be a great benefit in what we have got within the GT infrastructure, the ability to plug in different front ends. We like the GT infrastructure because regardless of who you talk to, DCOM will win, Corba will win, something else tomorrow will win. Nothing will really win because you'll have invested in it so heavily it'll be too hard for you to rip it out and try in something different. But what this does do is allow you to bring the value add up a level above the basic, what I call transport APIs. It's really business APIs we should be dealing in. The ability to actually do multiple complicated transactions and move them about as you wish. So we're really looking to GTX in the next 6.1, 6.2 to provide a reusable real-time business transaction for multiple client environments.